Okay, in this video, we're going to discuss how to prepare your wheels to put on your car. Up to this point, the wheels that you designed are 10 inches in diameter, and that doesn't fit in with the sizes that you're actually going to use on your car. In the last videos, I discussed how to choose your wheel and axle sizes, and now this is where you will apply the use of knowing what wheel and axle sizes you're using. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up my original 10-inch wheel, and we're going to scale it. Okay, so the reason we designed the wheel to be 10 inches in the first place is for the purpose of scaling. Um, Scaling is done in a percentage, so the first thing I'm going to do is, using the selection tool, I'm going to select all the pieces of my wheel. Next, I'm going to get my scale tool, which is down here towards the bottom. Yours is probably currently on the move tool, but if you click and hold there for a second, um, you can select scale. And then from any corner, you can click and start pushing in, and you need to type in the percentage that you're scaling it to. So, for example, if you want an 8-inch wheel, you would scale it to 0.8 because that would be 8/10 of the original size, which is why we made it 10. If you want to have a 6-inch wheel, you would scale it to 0.6. Well, 6 inches is what I selected from the distance table. So I'm going to scale it to 0.6 and I'm going to press return. So now that I've done that, I'm going to deselect the surface. Next thing I need to do is to create the axle hole. So I'm going to get my circle tool. I'm going to go to the center of the wheel. Now, initially, it's not wanting to find the center of this wheel. So SketchUp, if you hover around the outside of a circle, I'm not clicking or anything, I'm just moving my mouse out here. Just hover around, now it'll find the center for you. Now I'm going to click, pull straight out on red axis, and I'm going to type in my axle radius, not diameter. I chose an axle radius of, I chose an axle diameter of 3/16. Therefore, my axle radius is going to be 3/32. Finding half of a fraction is really relatively easy. It is a matter of doubling your denominator. So 3/16, the 16 became 32, so 3/32. If you chose 1/8 as your axle size, the 8 will become 16, so it's 1/16. And if you have a 1/4-inch axle, the 4 will become an 8, your radius is 1/8. You're going to add your axle hole. You will then select the surface and delete it. At this point, I'm not going to click Save. Super important here. Don't click Save. You're going to come over to the File folder icon and you're going to do Save As. And I'm going to change this to say 6-inch wheel. And I'm going to click OK. And of course, it wants to know where we're saving these things. So I'll go tell it where to save it. And I'm going to put it right in here. And now this is saved as my 6-inch wheel. However, we're not quite done yet. I'm going to get my orbit tool. I'm going to orbit around. I'm going to click on the surface, and I'm going to pull it out 0.25 inches. That's the thickness for all of your wheels. Everybody's wheel is going to be 0.25 thick. Okay. Now, you can't rescale this wheel, because if you attempt to rescale this wheel, it will also scale the thickness. It will also scale down the axle hole. That's why we had to do a Save As. So I'm going to go ahead and save this wheel. That's the 6-inch wheel. So that wheel is done. I'm going to go back into my main menu here, to my home screen, and I'm going to go back into my 10-inch wheel. I'm going to reopen that. So whatever your original wheel was, you open that up. That's why we did a save as, and now this one still measures 10 inches. So I can go ahead now and scale this, and my front wheels I want to be slightly smaller. Your wheel size, you can choose what you want it to be. It can be bigger than your back wheels, smaller than your back wheels. It can even be the same size as your back wheels if you want it to be. So I'm going to scale this down to, let's say I want it to be a 4-inch wheel, so I'm going to scale it to 0.4. Deselect it, get my circle tool. Find the center of the wheel. I tried to do that a little too fast, so you got to give it a little bit of time here. So now it finds the center of the wheel. Going to move out. Axle size is the same, so 3/32. Select that surface and delete it. Going to orbit this. Pull out 0.25. Don't save. Save as. I'm going to call this one a 4-inch wheel. Click OK. Tell it where to save it here. And now when I go back to my home screen, I have a 10-inch wheel, a 6-inch wheel, and I do not have a 4-inch wheel yet because it hasn't been opened yet. Okay, so this has been saved. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on open. I'm going to go find my 4-inch wheel. And now I have a 4-inch wheel. I can come in here. Here's my 4-inch wheel now that I've opened it into SketchUp. Here's my 6-inch wheel, so if I open this one, I have a 6-inch wheel. So that's how you scale your wheels, and then the next video is going to talk about adding the wheels to your car. So again, if you're confused by some of this, make sure you slow down the videos a little bit, do things step by step, really listen to some of the things that I'm saying, that I'm trying to explain to you, why you have to do certain things to make these things work correctly. So good luck. I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope to see all of you very soon.